Say have fun in your podcast. Say I love you.
I love you.
There was two kinds of slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, but he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro say, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master identified with himself. And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy. What you mean separate? Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat better food than this? That was that house Negro. In those days, he was called a house nigger. And that's what we call him today because we still got some house niggers running around here.
Hey, everybody out there. Negro Rockin' Podcast coming at you. I-70 Connect. I'm the DAKCSTORK. Almost a full house in here, ladies and gentlemen. We got 10 meters. We got the twin brothers of power. They have linked up together. Joe, Jeff, James in the house. Gonna go around the table. Anthony, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's going on now? I would like to say happy Black History Month to everybody.
Yeah, happy Black History Month.
More like Blackface Month, but we ain't gonna talk about that shit.
Wow.
Happy Blackface Month.
All right.
Hey, it's February 15th too. I heard that's a National Side Chick Day.
Today is National.
It is.
It's National Side Chick. Half off candies and flowers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
You get the one you kind of like, some wilted flowers.
Yeah, and make sure you get those. Get the upgrade. Get the $5 counters. Don't be buying them lifestyles, them $2, $1 box joints, because the side chick gonna probably be your baby mama pretty soon if you're not doing it.
Yes. Buy a Trojan.
Yeah, if you're gonna spring for anything.
You don't speak for anything. Yes. That's right. All right, keeping it moving. What's going on, James?
Yo, what's happening? What's going down? Another day in the life.
Another day. Welcome, brothers. Welcome. And Joe, what's up, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it in the pregame. We're gonna keep that offline though.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if you wanted to touch on some of the basics of it. I mean, now that you mentioned it, but we ain't gotta get deep into it.
Well, the basics are: I'm a teacher. A former student got shot in front of our building, and they arrested another former student for it. So that's been my week.
Damn.
On with the show.
On with the show. Nothing but Joe. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
And
It's been wild.
As for me, man, yeah, y'all know shit. Copa Steady making it happen. Shit, all good. That's all I got to say, really. So, we open up with I mean, as far as I think everybody on here goes, Malcolm X, great speech. Also, some of it, it deals with what's going on. We talked about Black History Month and Blackface Month, and I guess Black Gucci Month and a lot of shit like that. So if you're asking why we're playing this video, I mean, if you've been thinking about what's going on in the headlines and the media, especially with our politicians, hell, this last year, some change has been going on. It's kind of relevant.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I definitely agree. Shit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the first time actually though that I've heard the real version of it. I'm so accustomed to hearing Spike Lee's version,
Right.
Denzel's version of it.
Right.
Oh yeah, and that's not even like that's an incomplete version. You got to hit the real version. Really, is something else. That whole speech is one of his best.
So I should say we are familiar. Now we all know it well. My bad. We are familiar with this. I mean, some people may not. And once again,
I know a lot of people probably aren't. I mean, like I'm in college. I found a Malcolm X speech CD surprisingly in the college bookstore, and I'm just like, what? And I had to buy it just because it was like a CD of Malcolm X speeches, and it had like 10 different speeches. And I played that. I think I still have it somewhere. I played it until I just wore it out, basically.
You know that's automatically the FBI is tracking you. That was a test, nigga.
What's that?
As soon as you bought that CD, the FBI was tracking you, nigga. It was a test.
Oh, yeah, probably so. When I've been on the list for a long time.
Then you counterpro hopping them nigga. What's going on, dog? What's going on, dog? but nah. Yeah, but definitely, YouTube is our friend, folks. Just go YouTube, Malcolm X. You'll find a lot of good shit out there. But hey,
Definitely.
so y'all want me to keep rolling with the speech?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can talk about these house niggas.
And they are out there. So
yes, they are.
So which house nigga we talking about?
Man, take your pick, nigga. We can talk about Floyd.
Huh?
We can talk about Floyd house niggering it up.
That nigga. He caping so hard for Gucci.
I mean, you know what? I mean, you saw my sentiments on that, man. Gucci. I wasn't buying this shit to begin with. I've been boycotting that since fucking came out the womb.
But I think that brings us something too though. Like it's like we are like pretty like level headed for the most part. We all have our things, our agendas that kind of get us heated here and there. But that's everybody.
Right.
But it's weird for me because it's kind of like with the NFL where people are like, oh, you niggas still playing football, y'all some house niggas. But it's like you want motherfuckers to stop getting their money just because you don't want to fuck with their product no more. And you expect every other nigga to fall in line around you and not fuck with that product no more, even though you was never gonna buy that shit to begin with.
Right.
Yep.
And I think it's real weird.
It's convenient to boycott shit you never had any intention of buying.
Oh yeah.
To begin with.
And it's real convenient to tell somebody to check their pockets when you won't check yours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you going to Walmart tomorrow, right? Okay. Ain't no child slavery, no shit like that. No, inhumane work conditions, no shit like. Okay.
Yeah.
Our own agendas.
Because that's been the question everybody been asking today. Are we still boycotting?
It's
because
crazy,
of probably Kaepernick's resettlement.
Yeah, Kaepernick took the money,
big money,
and taking and a non-disclosure settlement.
Yeah.
So he can't talk. They talking
about somewhere between 60 and 80 million.
He probably set for life.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what Kaepernick does with his newfound wealth.
And
I'm sure he's going to continue to be a philanthropist and that type of thing.
Yeah.
But
you know what he did, though, right? He probably just showed him a picture of Nathan Peterman and was like, "I rest my case."
You say you showed a picture of what?
He just showed a picture of Nathan Peterman, the former quarterback for the Bills. He probably just showed a picture of that and was like, "I rest my case." And Goodell was like, "Your Honor, we would like to have a talk with the plaintiff."
It's time for us to caucus.
It's time for us to caucus.
It's time for us to have a caucus on this matter.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of getting off point, house niggas, but also we gotta be careful though, because like I was being called a house nigga because I was still watching football by some people.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
And I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute.
I
Go ahead.
I held myself to my own standard on that. I put Kaepernick's photo up on temporary on my Facebook profile, and I set that bitch out for as long as it would stay temporary, and that was like 2-3 months, probably 3 months.
Yeah.
And for the 3 months, I was solid. I wasn't gonna do shit. But when Kaepernick came down off the temporary status on the Facebook profile, I said, "Shit, I did my part, man.
I did my part, dog."
I was like, I mean, yeah, he gonna handle it. He taking it to court, man. You know what I'm saying?
But like I told one dude though, I'm like, so wait a minute. When NFL football players were raping, killing, beating, doing whatever the fuck they wanted to anybody else,
right?
He wasn't boycotting shit. Didn't nobody say this motherfucker when Leonard Little ran some motherfucker over because he was driving drunk? Didn't nobody say let's stop now?
Right.
So I'm like, so what's the agenda? What's the line?
Oh, everybody got their own agendas, man.
Yeah, I know. So I was just like, if I didn't stop when niggas was throwing bitches downstairs, like actually kicking them in the face, raping women on record. I mean, when I didn't stop then, I'm supposed to stop now, because a man who still refuses to vote says he's taking the knee.
Mm-hmm.
So where's my agenda? Like, this nigga don't even vote. Fuck him. If I'm on this vote, your vote count shit.
I'm not ready to go there.
I know. I feel you. I'm just saying.
I'm not ready to go there. I mean, yeah, if he's gonna be an activist, I do feel like he should work the system from within. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But at the same time, I think he risked it all. Now he's obviously been rewarded today, and he got a chunk of that money from Nike. Speaking of which, your boy with the outlet store selling athletic gear and refused to buy Nike because Kaepernick got on the commercial.
Dog, it was
going out of business this week, man.
There was so many.
Yeah.
All my white friends turned into motherfucking hedge fund motherfucking managers. Dog, Nike stock is gonna crash. You just watch it. And I was like, I think they'll be okay. And I think they lost like $8 or $10 one day, and I was like,
Nick, no, fuck that shit. That shit surged. What are you talking about?
No.
Like,
Initially, there was a loss. Like
It did. Okay. It dropped a little bit the first couple days,
and everybody's like, here it goes. And I was like, and I had to pull up a graph. Like you've seen historically, it has dropped, but then there's always a surge right after the drop. But you know what? You're the hedge fund operator. You go ahead and do what you do.
No, it surged like 20%.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Maybe more.
Because I was in there fighting. I was in there like having to fight white people, unfriend them. I was like, oh, you showing your true colors, nigga.
There's a lot of that going on right now.
Dog. Yeah. Every day because me, Damon, and my two sisters, maybe my brother, y'all know, but nigga brother. We have a little family chat group. And every day, because Sylvia, she's a lawyer out in Pittsburgh. Every day she's having to unfriend motherfuckers because she works in Pittsburgh, but she lives in West Virginia, out there in Morgantown, where the university's at. It's still racist as fuck out there. Anyway, but it's not as racist because it's a college town. That's what they tell you. But yeah, she every day she's just like, here's another motherfucker I had to unfriend. I'm like, yeah, your friends are showing you their true colors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but they have us over to the house and we and this and that. I'm like, oh, you the special nigga. You just finding out. You went to Duke Law School, so you smarter than the rest of us. They accept you. Did I lose y'all?
No, yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm up now.
Everybody quiet.
We're here.
Y'all need a Red Bull or something?
Well, I'm investigating goings on in the house. They up here making noise.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good when they make noise. I thought when they get quiet, nigga, that's when.
Hey, I feel you, but they need to get quiet and go to sleep. They need to start snoring.
Okay, you all right though. At about 11 o'clock, old black daddy
No,
kick in. What the
I
fuck?
am
Why
not
y'all
tired tonight. So
Why y'all moving? We just going to the bathroom. Don't do it so loud. God damn it.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So I guess we can probably go ahead and play the rest of the video before we start talking about Steve Harvey and his bum ass.
Yeah, Mr. Stone himself. Oh shit.
And we really didn't tackle Floyd, but go ahead. Let's go ahead and play some more of the video.
All right.
This modern house Negro loves his master. He wants to live near him. He'll pay 3 times as much as the house is worth just to live near his master. And then brag about, I'm the only Negro out here. I'm the only one on my job. I'm the only one in this school. You're nothing but a house Negro. And if someone come to you right now and say, let's separate, you say the same thing that the house Negro said on the plantation. What you mean separate? From America? This good white man? Where you gonna get a better job than you get here? I mean, this is what you say. I ain't left nothing in Africa. That's what you say. Why, you left your mind in Africa. On that same plantation, there was the field Negro. The field Negro, those were the masses. There was always more Negroes in the field than there was Negroes in the house. The Negro in the field caught hell. He ate leftovers. In the house, they ate high up on the hull. The Negro in the field didn't get nothing but what was left of the insides of the hull. They call them chitlins nowadays. In those days, they call them what they were, guts. That's what you were, a gut eater. And some of you all still gut eaters. The field Negro was beaten from morning till night. He lived in a shack, in a hut. He wore cast-off clothes. He hated his master. I say he hated his master. He was intelligent. That house Negro loved his master. But that field Negro, remember, they were in the majority. And they hated his master. When the house caught on fire, he didn't try and put it out. That field Negro prayed for a wind, for a breeze. When the master got sick, the field Negro prayed that he died. If someone come to the field Negro and said, let's separate, let's run, he didn't say, where are we going? He said, any place is better than here. You got field Negroes in America today. I'm a field Negro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who was he talking about in 2019? he He had somebody in mind.
I don't know.
Why would we leave what we got here? I ain't about to go nowhere. I got Gucci stores I can go to.
Yeah.
No, I'm the only white. I'm the only black person out here at Gucci. So
I got it good here.
Niggas, dog. This niggas. Yeah, I don't know. Shit, who was he talking about here in 2019?
might be Steve Harvey. I don't know.
Oh.
But Steve House nigga? I don't know. I don't know about that.
You saw the video, right? He
I saw-
was talking to Monique.
I saw a video about Monique, but it's not act like Monique ain't cooned it up also. Both of these niggas been on the screen cooning it up.
She been acting. She.
Nigga, you ain't seen Soul Plane, Fat Girls? We can go to her IMDb and look
but
it
I'm
up.
saying in recent days, she been acting like she got kicked out to the field.
Huh?
She been acting like she been kicked out to the field in recent days.
She got salty about some shit that ain't got nothing to do about. Now all of a sudden she got that integrity.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Monique got pissed about some personal shit that happened to her personally, and she tried to flip it to make it into a racial thing to benefit her.
Now don't get me wrong. The optics of
and I'm not saying that she was totally wrong in everything that she was saying, but she was doing it for her own personal benefit, not to uplift the race.
Right. And don't get me wrong. That whole thing. Yeah, like the optics of Steve saying you gotta like fuck your integrity because you gotta eat. That's hard to swallow too, because that's basically what niggas been doing and trying not to do.
Yeah, you gotta eat, but at some point,
no. That's what I'm saying. It's fucked up.
Like there's a surviving, and then there's prospering.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fucked up.
Like I don't know. At some point, and I think that's what T.I. was getting on Floyd for. Like, what you do for your people, man.
Right.
Yeah, here buying up all the Gucci, man. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
What you do for your people?
I can agree. I can agree that Steve's comments were problematic, but I also know that Steve does real work in the community on a regular basis. You know.
Yeah,
so
that's what I said.
All I know is during the transition, he was spotted at Trump Tower.
And do you know the whole story?
He was spotted at Trump Tower. I know part of it. I mean, I know he was there to be a liaison.
And do you know who asked him to do that?
Jim Brown?
I remember somebody. I forgot. I don't remember who.
Former President Obama asked him to go to that meeting.
I started to say Obama.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's just tell the whole story. That's all I'm saying. We're going to tell it. Let's tell the whole thing. And I'm still thinking you shouldn't have went. It was a bad move.
It's a bad move on it. Yeah.
Right, on his part. But I could also see that he could feel some kind of type of pressure if Obama asked him to do it. Right. Now, if he would have continued on that track after he had the meeting, and he was some kind of support to Trump and that sort of thing, and was backing him, I'd be totally on your side. But he had the meeting, and it was over, and that was it.
No, yeah. And I understand. I feel that, but I think they can speak to a bigger picture as far as like niggas always having to kowtow when it comes to white power. I don't mean in that way, but it's like we got to go there. We got to see, and when black folks do it, it always just seems to make us look shitty. But when white folks come and cater to Obama, it may you're crossing the aisle, and it's so good that you're doing these things for the black community. I don't know the fuck, but I don't know. It's I just don't like it. I just having to go to that motherfucker, and I get why he did it, but it just makes it's a bad taste because it's a bad look.
I mean, I put it this way: I wouldn't have nearly the problem of Steve Harvey going to see George W. Bush as I would him going to see Trump. I think Trump is a special brand of idiot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't think that's going across the aisle. I think that's going. I don't know, man. It's like giving
I just don't have a good word for
Credence,
it. I didn't mean
giving credence to a fool, man.
Yeah, but that's the bigger point I'm speaking to as far as like niggas always. We are always trying to reach across and trying to do more. It seems sometime to me than our quote unquote white counterpart.
So basically, what you're saying is, Winston, is that we have to play the role of Uncle Tom.
I hate the last part you said.
I'm sorry. Did you hear me?
You said play the role on what?
Of Uncle Tom.
Oh, yeah, I hear Uncle Tom.
Yeah, we got to play the role of Uncle Tom. You know, just to
I think there's some
show face to those white people.
Yeah, there's some gray area too, as far as like Uncle Tom, which to me has a different connotation than trying to come across the aisle, be peaceful, but at the same time keep your integrity. So there's a lot of gray there between that and Uncle Tom to me.
Yeah. What about that? What about that stand-up routine we saw from Steve Harvey though?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm saying that niggas coon. And all I was saying was, like, a lot of people just were quick to hop to Monique's side and have totally forgotten that she built her name up, her recognition up through cooning.
She did.
So it's like, and I think Steve Harvey's bigger point.
And that was also, I mean, you got to take it. I mean, it's also a standard routine.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah,
it's a standard routine. Yeah. Everything that somebody does in a standard routine, it shouldn't be necessarily taken literally.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks a lot worse now.
I'll tell you what though. Things I think stand-up routines are funny when there's a bit of truth in them. I think shit that's far-fetched and abstract shit don't make sense and don't get laughs. There's got to be a little bit of truth in a stand-up routine for it to be a joke, for it to get laughs. And so I listen to the stand-up routine and I listen to what he said on Monique, and they really care about each other.
Okay, so is he? I mean, is he really out here? He really out here doing that? I'm just asking. I mean, is that how you feel? Like, I mean, you see, he's on everything. Do you feel like the way he conducts himself out here, on his shows and all that? Do you feel like he's conducting himself like a coon?
I would say I'm not gonna go that far.
Because I think that's where it really counts.
Can I say he does cater to a white audience, but he's also trying to get a lot of dollars. But I don't think he coons, but I think sometimes he does tiptoe that line.
Yeah, well, that's
he's a mainstream. He's mainstream now.
No, he is. No,
he's going mainstream.
I'm just answering.
Yeah, so that's part of the thing. In order to, and whenever one of us goes mainstream, this is always the potential trap that you get. He's a sellout. He's blah blah blah, and all that sort of thing. But like, in order to appeal to a mass audience, I mean, there's a way that you appeal to just black people. But in order to appeal to a mass audience, you have to change up things.
Yeah, but
yes.
And
so does nobody? So is it that no one strives to cross over so that they don't look like a coon?
Crossover, double cross. Ain't nobody cross. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I don't understand.
Not exactly double cross though.
It is a double cross because white folks never have to cross over to us.
In a lot of ways, I don't think you, especially when it comes to comedians, I think there's a lot of ways you cannot win when you cross over.
No, my bad. You know what, Anthony? I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, pimp.
No, what I was saying, well, not necessarily double cross or anything, because a prime example of that would be Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she appeals to a wide variety of audience, both black and white. And the way she does it, I mean, she does have to,
Oprah called heat now.
Huh?
Oprah called heat from the black community before.
I know. I'm well aware she called heat from us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she did have to, do her little Aunt Tomika, or whatever you want to call it, to cater to the white people because, it goes back to that.
She can't be Sophie in The Color Purple.
not all the time, but
I don't know
black
about
people are afraid of that. They're afraid of what they do not understand.
I've seen between Oprah and Steve Harvey is that Oprah has reached out with her dollars and through her art to uplift the black community, like repeatedly. She backed the great debater. She was, like you said, in The Color Purple. She was in what's the little movie that came out a couple years ago? I didn't watch.
A Wrinkle in Time.
A Wrinkle in Time. She did that one.
With the black director, can't think of her name, Ava DuVernay or something like that.
There you go. Yeah, that type of thing too. She was one of the first people to back Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like she has a track record of...
Dude, Steve Harvey had Barack Obama on his radio show weekly before anybody knew who he was. Steve Harvey, have you seen? But that was... Well, wait, give both sides a chance. You said Steve Harvey doesn't contribute to the community. You know about his Young Men's program.
Let me make my Harvey statement, then you can rebuttal. Harvey statement, then rebuttal. So when you say that was before Harvey blew up. Harvey ain't been that big for 10 years. Harvey's been big probably 6 or 7, but he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't blew up until relatively recently. He still had he was on the morning shows and doing that type of thing. So yeah, he might have Barack Obama on then. But I'm saying once he started doing he's not doing The Price is Right. What is it called? Family Feud.
Yeah.
We started doing the Family Feud. And he's been doing pageants and all this type of stuff. I haven't seen him reach back and bring the next man up like I've seen Oprah do. Go ahead.
Go ahead, James.
Okay. Now you're talking about. Okay, what are we talking about? Are we talking about contributing to the community, or are we talking about?
I'm talking about once you made it. Once you crossed over it, the crossover and then the cross back. So she crossed over, she made it, but she's reaching back to the next person to pull along with her. I haven't seen that from Harvey. He was doing that, but yeah, maybe he was doing that before he got big. But once he got big, is he still doing that?
As far as I know, he hasn't changed the way he runs his shows. I know he does the mentoring program every year for the young men. I forget the name of the program where he brings them out to his ranch for like a month and 2 months.
Yeah, the male.
Right. I know Steve Harvey's doing. I don't know everything Steve Harvey's doing, but I know Steve Harvey's reaching back and serving the community. You know.
But
I'm not saying that Steve Harvey doesn't.
No.
He loves the money. I know Steve Harvey loves the money.
That, but we
He's
also
doing a lot to
like
get the money.
Steve Harvey.
But at the same time, I wouldn't.
We're also acting like Steve Harvey and Oprah Winfrey on the same playing field as far as like money and influence.
That's true too.
I get like his percentage of reach back ain't gonna be the same, but Oprah got way more fucking pull and influence than Steve Harvey got.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Yeah, and it's I'm sure there's plenty of black comics that'll tell you that Steve Harvey, has helped bring them along. As he grew, he got people that he's mentored. Kevin Hart being one of them.
Yeah. But I think like, cause I listened to a little bit more and went out and tried to find some more of the clip. I should have brought it because I didn't know we was gonna get too deep into this. But yeah. Steve Harvey. I think his bigger thing when he was talking to Monique, his bigger point was just how to play the game, and sometimes that got twisted into cooning, which I guess it can be cooning. Yeah. But he was thinking more. He was just talking more of like a business person and like how she went about trying to get her coin wasn't necessarily the right way to do it.
Yeah,
which it was.
Let me just put like this because I don't want like Steve Harvey. I'm saying if we're gonna talk about people that's Uncle Tom's, I just think Steve Harvey's pretty low on the list. I think there's bigger fish that you could fry in that arena.
Maybe.
Well, let's fry Floyd then.
Because come on, man. If anybody doesn't show that he doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
About the community, it's Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe they can do homework for a couple of
actually,
yeah. But hold on.
The Negro Rockin' Top 10 Coons.
Okay, give me something then. Tell me what he's doing for the community. Who's he bringing along?
He tried to bring on Adrian Broner.
Oh, see.
He got all
gonna say that.
So we just gonna sidestep that whole thing with McGregor though, where he was just kind of like, he talking wild crazy, but I ain't saying shit. I guess it was all for show, but whatever.
Right when he let Conor McGregor call him all kind of monkeys and coons and all that kind of stuff,
and then put him on his ass. What are you talking about? I don't know. He knocked his ass out for it.
But out?
For the 300 million, yeah.
Dude, he puts on a spectacle. That's what he does. You asked how he reached back, and the Conor McGregor fight's not the one I'm going to bring up.
But I'm saying, would that be the definition
the money
of
team
though, doing whatever just to make sure you get that dollar?
That's
I don't know.
pretty much it.
But he's been about that. I mean, that's who he's been, and that's really the fight game. You know what I'm saying? But what you asked is he bringing people along, and I'm saying the money team. The money team is all black, and he's brought them to be major players in the fight game. And they don't just represent Floyd; they represent other people in the game. They got a foothold in the game because he put them there.
Okay. Yes, I guess that's enough.
I like that man. He's sexy. Anyway,
but I mean, so
Yeah.
Here's my thing. The T.I. thing versus
we got no really T.I. being petty than a motherfucker.
We say?
I'm saying we all know T.I. being petty than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the timeline on that? Did T.I. come out with his shit before Floyd went on the shopping spree? Or did Floyd go out there and then T.I. did the rant? And he came back with the song? Or you know what I'm saying? What was the timeline on that?
I would have to get Black Twitter CSI on that shit. I mean, it's like I don't know, it's funny, but I mean, you talking about for the culture. I mean, I'm not excited about the Gucci band. Like that just doesn't excite me. I'm like, is that for the culture? That ain't for my culture. No, but we get to this
my
whole
culture
thing.
wasn't buying Gucci no way.
If you ever get a chance,
listen to buying a knockoff Gucci.
Listen to a Hot Fire Starter.
Bootleg Gucci.
I got 2 G's over here.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? And they still were representing the Gucci brand, even if they was buying knockoff because they was wearing the label around. So there's and we know that's cats got Gucci in their name, Gucci Mane. So even if cats are not actually giving money to Gucci itself, they're still representing Gucci out here quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I can't get excited about that.
I mean, yeah.
I can't either.
Those big
and you can do what you want. You can boycott and not boycott, but you still representing a brand that, thinks that blackface is acceptable.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's a fashion statement.
Ain't Tommy Hilfiger made some questionable fucking comments?
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
But yeah, I ain't bought no Hilfiger since.
No, but what I'm saying,
I never bought Hilfiger anyway.
What I'm saying is niggas still wear that shit. No, nobody.
Like I said, you can do what you want to do, man. But I mean, okay. Well, let's say it's Levi's.
Okay.
Something that we are on a practical level.
Right.
If Levi's came out with some jeans with like little coon faces on the back of the pockets or something like that.
Sorry.
That's gonna be
you still gonna be buying Levi's, man?
No, but no, James.
I don't think Levi would come out with that shit because I think on a practical level, they know that shit would be suicide. Gucci is dealing with motherfuckers that can't afford my shit no way. So if I put this out here, it really doesn't matter.
All I'm saying is no one gets canceled, bro. That's all I'm trying to say, dog. 3 months from now, ain't nobody gonna care. Like, you listen to one of my favorite podcasts, Hot Fire Starter. They got a segment talking about what we mad about now.
Yeah.
And like you saying, Joe, 3 months from now, it ain't gonna matter. Just like when Tommy Hilfiger and Timberland and all these other motherfuckers.
I'm talking more on the individual, personal basis. I'm talking about no mass boycotts.
Well, I mean, I think
I'm saying it don't matter in the end. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's really what his sentiment was. I don't know if those are the words he used, but he used something similar to that in the little statement he wrote.
He didn't write that statement.
Little 3 month boycott, and then we move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like he says, he's doing it. Like you said before, y'all do what y'all want. I'm doing what I want.
Hey,
you know
Joe.
So,
Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You think Floyd wrote that statement?
No, hell no.
Okay, I was about to say.
50 Cent will tell you that, man.
I'm about to say you about to drop down from one of the smartest niggas I know if you said that nigga wrote that statement.
No, hell no.
I was gonna be sad too if he was like, "Yep." I was like, "Oh, damn, this nigga." I be telling people Joe smart.
I paid money to see that nigga read the statement, really.
No, he ain't gonna read shit.
Hey, nigga, that'd be the greatest fight we've ever seen Floyd in.
But I also paid money to see this nigga T.I. step in the ring with him.
Oh,
That nigga T.I.
And wait a minute, did T.I. say something about spending $1 million a year on Gucci or something like that?
And that's the shit that was in the statement.
I'm like, what in the hell?
You sitting over here talking about all this bullshit like y'all niggas ain't buy. You know they wasn't black money. It wasn't no black gear to begin with.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
So you talking about we banning this Italian brand? Why wouldn't you spend $1 million or $40,000 on a black brand to begin with and put that money back in the community?
Yeah,
on some Killer Mike shit.
Exactly.
What are we looking at now?
At least we know like Sean John and all that and Rockaway. At least we know that's black owned shit.
Yeah, man. Like,
bring back Fubu. Bring it back. We can use Fubu again. Just change the style up a little bit.
Right. Yeah. What Jay-Z say? I'd be damned if I drink some Belvedere while Puff got
Ciroc. Right. Hey, I'm saying.
So I mean, So I think it's really hypocritical, and so people all up in arms about this for now, and that's fine, whatever. But like, whoever wrote Mayweather's statement,
Mayweather's speechwriter, and then they had to read it to him.
Right, but whoever
They didn't read that shit to that nigga. That nigga fucking signed a big X on the bottom of it, and they said, "Oh, thank you for that."
Make your mark, nigga. Step right over here, make your mark.
Make your mark, nigga.
Hey, sign this. X.
But the speechwriter put up the hypocrisy of all the violence that is promoted through the genre we know and love. We gonna start you know what I'm saying, boycotting MCs, boycotting T.I. for that type of shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like I said, what we mad about now? That's sometimes what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, it's always gonna be something that we're gonna be mad about, and we're gonna boycott it against. Yeah.
No, but that's the problem though. It shouldn't be a statement of there's always gonna be something. It's like we got to get focused on some shit and then like mobilize and organize against that shit. But like this, like, oh, I'm mad because Gucci has this fucked up sweater. Then I'm mad about this. I'm mad about that. It just loses steam.
No.
Wasn't there another brand too? Was it just Gucci or was there another?
Nah, it was Prada.
And Katy Perry had some like.
And there's another one too.
You could see it in blackface shoes, I guess.
They had like a whole bubble coat that had little nigga faces all over it.
You say niggas?
The name of the brand though. It was the third one in this.
A bubble coat with little nigglets on.
I swear, for God.
Hey man, once again, we needed the nigga in the boardroom speaking Italian time. Hey, I wouldn't do that if I was you.
That's a bad idea.
What I say, dog?
Too bad the niggas at the bottom of the lake somewhere.
Oh God, I know he's about to say, you motherfucker. Shit. That nigga. You nigga.
Yeah, Montclair.
Oh God.
Is that ever gonna stop being funny?
I don't know. It's not. I don't think it will be. Not to me. I'll be at work saying crazy shit all the time.
All right, back to it. Yeah. They should have had somebody tell them, "Yo, I wouldn't do that if I was you."
I would do that if I was you. That's gonna be it's a bad idea.
You gotta have one black guy somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So hold on. So we I guess we'll get back to Who's the Coons 2019.
Yeah, we can get. That's an ongoing subject.
Kanye?
God.
He had 18 on lock.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
You know what though?
That's Coon of the year.
I'm gonna say you niggas are sexist because we ain't throwing no women in this hat. We got Joe's Boo always fighting for a spot.
my alt-right boo.
Alt-right boo.
Candace Owens? Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Cause she's still out here.
Actually, she might be. She's top dog, really.
Candace
She's going
Owens.
hard.
If we had to have a coon, a queen coon, king coon, a homecoming, she definitely can't get the crown now.
She's young.
You know what? You know what? That'd be a perfect for our homecoming segment, man. You know, King and Queen Coon.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
Homecoming, 2019.
Yeah, in October.
Yeah, she.
You know, October was homecoming, so that'd be a good idea for that.
Well, yeah.
Hey, when are the Oscars? They this weekend?
I think so.
Damn, we missed our chance for the Magic Negro Oscars.
We gotta get that.
We could just do it. We could just do it live after the Killer Mike shit. We can freestyle it. We can freestyle the Magic Nigga Oscars after the Killer Mike.
Next Sunday's Oscars.
Hey,
Is it next Sunday?
Yeah,
Next Sunday.
It's the end of
All right,
February.
we gotta be on that then.
Yeah, we gotta be on. Matter of fact, let's just freestyle and then like hang up and call each other back for the next 20 minutes. That way, Frank has to break all this shit up.
I'll bring up Frank. Bring up Francis.
Nigga, I just spit my
His name Francis.
Nigga's name Francis.
I'm gonna call that nigga Fredo.
Woo!
Fredo.
Oh shit!
What's your name? Francisco.
I knew it was you.
I knew it was you all along.
I knew it was you all along.
Never go against the family.
You broke my heart.
No, Fredo.
Yeah, Frank went against the family on this one, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Keep that in there, Frank.
Frank.
Yeah, you hear us.
You hear us, nigga. You hear us, boy. We gonna build that wall.
Ain't no game.
Once we build that wall, ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it, Francisco.
So yeah, state of emergency to build a damn wall. God, dog.
Okay, my bad. It got quiet.
Yeah.
I thought you were moving on.
I was moving on.
Yeah.
Then it got like real quiet. That's why I hung up, and I might be high.
Right, because we were letting you move on.
Because we waiting for you to bring up the next subject.
Right, that's why we got quiet. Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
What?
Yeah.
See, Frank, that's why we need Frank here, man.
We do need Frank. Damn, ain't that a bitch?
Because Frank segues us into the next subject.
Yeah.
Definitely eat dick. Anyway, speaking of eating dicks, we're gonna get back to Killing Mike.
There it is.
That's your segue, niggas.
That was a clumsy segue, bro.
You good, did it?
I could have sworn you niggas was talking about that.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. My bad. So that's New Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is there might be a delay on my end too, so that's another thing too. I'll be talking, then y'all talk, and then y'all respond to me a little slow, so that's also going on over here. Anyway, my bad. New Jesus.
Okay.
Anyone? Did you guys watch it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sleepy.
Nigga, what?
The new Jesus. That's okay. Let's say new Jesus.
Okay, that's
Basically, Mike breaks it down like he's worse. Basically, criticizes like the Christianity, and especially when it comes to black people,
Right.
and the myth of like there being a white Messiah and that sort of thing, and how he feels like it holds black people back, and that's kind of like where he started. He did like an interview with Creflo Dollar and that sort of thing. And basically decided he's going to start his own religion to give black people a better alternative when it comes to religion. And it kind of went from there. And then he basically found like one of his homeboys that
my nigga sleepy, dog. You
they call sleep.
You just ran all over sleepy, nigga.
Who don't even talk.
What's his motto? Up, down with hope, up with dope.
Fuck hope, do dope.
No, fuck hope.
yeah.
I said
It's basically this dude that looked like he's eternally high. He don't speak, and he basically made him the figurehead of his new religion.
Dog, the greatest thing ever is that nigga went a whole episode and didn't say a fucking word.
He didn't say a word.
One word the whole episode.
So like he found him, and then he found like one of his homeboys that was a writer or something like that.
Yeah,
Because they need to come up with their own Bible.
so
and this dude was wild. I forgot what the dude's name was. He was like real high strung.
Donald Goins, grandson or some shit. I don't know what nigga's last name was. But he was on some old pimp shit for sure.
Right. Oh, because he had written some like crime novels or something, hadn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah. So they collabed on that. So he's basically coming up with each little aspect of forming his religion. So I guess they came up with the mythology of their religion and their book, and so then they need to find followers. And he basically went back to did he go back to like find the people that didn't have jobs that he's working with the whole fuck school?
I think so. Yeah.
Then he went and got some of them.
If he did, I'm not sure. I couldn't. I know he recycled people in later episodes. I'm not sure that was one where he did it.
Yeah.
Okay. It just seemed like he recycled some of those people from that episode, saying, well, they don't really have direction. They don't have jobs or whatever. So maybe they'll want to follow this, so.
All right. And
they kind of went from there. And he basically formed his own religion, came up with a doctrine, came up with a Messiah. They created a service at the strip club.
Oh, that was the best.
He essentially created his own religion with followers, and that was like the crux of the episode. And I mean, I guess technically they had positive messages, and that sort of thing.
It wasn't a bad episode at all. It was pretty good.
Yeah. So that's the basic summary of that episode. What's the thoughts on it?
My thoughts is about the whole Christian, I guess, religion, and that's what I got from it. Basically, was how I would say, and I'm probably gonna offend a whole lot of people here today, but how we were taught the Christian religion basically stripped of our original religion and then just been, pressed with this religion that we have been, through our history, in a white Messiah, white Jesus, and this white God's going to come down and save us and all that. It's basically what I got from it, and how it's not ideal for our culture. Is what I got from it. Now, my family is really religious. I mean, they're like hardcore Christian family, and I tend to kind of disagree with some of the things that they believe in. Especially about a white, blue-eyed, long hair Jesus Christ. I don't believe that he was white.
Your family believe that?
Oh yes, my family does believe that.
But
Got
why?
pictures.
But why? Why did they believe that? I got my church. My church has black Jesus up on the murals. Like,
and
why?
what I think is because this was the tradition that was handed down through generations, from generation to generation. I don't think it was. I don't think
it's easy to trace the origin of that though. We know where that came from.
Right. It came from slavery.
No, that didn't come from no slavery, man.
I mean, no. What I'm
White Jesus did not come from slavery, man. White Jesus came from the Renaissance painters, man. That was like it was.
No, I mean it was taught us during slavery. I mean during the slavery time. I mean when we got over here.
But there were Africans. There were African Christians. There were African Muslims.
Well, I believe that, yeah.
So I'm saying.
I know there were African Christians and.
Before slavery, there were African Christians. Before slavery, there were African Muslims.
Like very northern Africa.
Yeah, there were trade routes throughout the Sahara. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how far into the sub-Saharan Africa there was. Ethiopia it was a Christian kingdom all the way going back. Haile Selassie can trace his lineage. Well, he's dead, but But what Haile Selassie could do was trace his lineage. His father, Menelik II, they could trace their lineage all the way back to Solomon, to King Solomon, man. So I mean, there were Christians in Africa. There were Muslims in Africa. And I'm not saying that everybody that came over on the boat was a Christian. I'm not saying that any that came over on the boat were a Christian, because that was over on the east side of Africa. But I'm just saying, going and saying that was a false religion for that reason, I don't know. I prefer to talk about what they talked about, which was the white Jesus situation.
Okay.
And I think that's just patently. I put it this way: anybody who's thought about it and put real attention to it would tell you that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. And I've said it before, when he was young and he was being persecuted, his family took him up from Nazareth and they went into Egypt. They went into Africa to blend in and escape from, Herod and the people who were out to get him. So to me, that screams to me that he was a person of color. I'm not saying he was black, but I'm saying he wasn't white. And so the reason why we have white Jesus everywhere is because the painters of the time period were white, and the popes who commissioned the paintings were white, and the popes who commissioned the paintings had their sons sit for the painting and be the white Jesus. So, I mean, yeah, we know there's been some hegemony that goes along with that. That doesn't make the story any truer or less true. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Okay.
But I think that many of us have been taught to question Christianity or question the doctrine or the belief is to question God, and that's considered blasphemy. So anytime that you even propose to question, any of the aspects of Christianity that don't seem to match up to reality, you get condemned.
Yeah. And so, and I'm not opposed to questioning Christianity, because I think the religion itself is a human construct.
Right.
But I think the belief, if you are a believer, I think that is divine. So following what the Catholic Church has said, yeah, that's problematic. The Catholic Church, I think, has been wrong several times, even to this day. To this day. But but what I'm saying to you is, I think there are truths that are spoken in the religious text that people don't necessarily want to dig into. You know what I'm saying? And they go based on, like you said, the traditions that have been handed down to them rather than what's between the pages.
Yeah. And they've accepted these traditions as some people have accepted these. I won't say all. Accept these traditions as true, and that's how, and they put that in their belief system and their practice, and that's probably where you get that misconception of Jesus as being a white, blonde hair, blue-eyed savior, because of tradition.
And the whole idea of it, especially when it comes to the Christianity that was presented to the slave, there's no way that they could present to them a Jesus that was not white, and to still use it as a measure of control, which is what they used it for originally.
Mm-hmm.
It was just impractical. Say, God said that you were to be beholden to us and to be our servants, but he looks like you.
Right.
So there was no way that was going to fly. So it was all constructed to serve a purpose, a sinister purpose, from the minute it was presented to the black slave.
Yes, I think it was definitely weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely weaponized, but I don't think that should be the measure of whether or not the religion is authentic or not. I think
it's a lot more nuanced than that.
Yeah. So, anybody else?
No.
Episode 5?
I guess I'm good.
Yeah, episode 5 then.
That was it.
So episode 5 was what Kill Your Masters, right?
Everything is Kill Your Masters. That's like his little logo. I don't know if
Kill Your Masters is number 6.
Yeah.
Episode 5 is Outside the Box. That's
my bad. I got him turned around.
Oh, so he did name the last one Kill Your Masters. Mm-hmm. That's like he wears it on his all his clothes. So that's a thing for him. But yeah, so it was thinking outside the box. That one was one where he decided he was going to get a new fan base, and he was going to go to the quickest growing population, which is the elderly.
Right.
And so he decided he was going to go into a nursing home and basically perform some of his material and see if he couldn't get any new fans. And so just trying to cross over to other groups who wouldn't necessarily always have an opportunity. And so that was kind of funny because I really cracked up because he sat down with some older women and basically kind of try to talk about the commonalities that he had with some of their philosophy, talking about how do you feel about gun control. And he said, the woman said, I don't think you should control guns. He says, neither do I. And then she kind of back up and like, well, we need to control some of the people having the guns. And basically projecting like, hey, you niggas don't need to have guns. I'm sorry.
Yes, basically that's what she said.
So was that the one that basically said,
hey, Joe,
I think that most of the murders and robberies are done by black people? That one?
That one right there.
All by black people. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he retorted and said, well, when I think about gun control, I think we probably need to take it out of white men because every time we see a mass shooting, it's a white man.
It's a white man, yeah.
She was like, I'm not. No.
I don't believe that. That's not.
I still think we need to keep it out the niggas' hands. So
yes.
I don't know, man. So he went up there and obviously felt like there was going to be an issue with connecting with some of these people. So he did one of his songs off the second album. And the hook was like, lie, she, still, everybody's doing it, something like that. And so, but he did it to a barbershop quartet.
That's right. Yes.
I'm telling you, I was howling.
He had a groove to it.
Yeah, man. He said, "Who really run this? Who's the man who really say he run this? Who's the man behind the man who say he run this? You know what I'm saying?"
Hey.
But I mean, he went in and broke it down, and there was some themes in the song that I think were relatable. I think he was talking about, not necessarily trusting, the government, that type of thing. And I think that was something that, of course, the Republicans feel. So in the long run, I don't think he's necessarily going to be picking up a whole lot of purchases from the elderly crew.
No.
They're not going to be downloading it to their jitterbug phones. You know what I'm saying? But from there, he decided to go ahead and make a super group where he would cross over racial lines again to try to reach different demographics.
Yep.
And that's where your boy came back in the scene, the Puerto Rican dude.
Puerto Rican dude came back, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he basically had an audition. It was really like Puffy and making the band.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. So they was at Snake on Your Studios down in ATL, and basically they had people coming together from all different walks of life. You had, Insane Clown Posse, Juggalo.
Right, he had the Juggalo.
Juggalo, yep.
You had like
the albino little military type dude.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Old boy from Black Lightning, basically.
I don't like Black Lightning.
Black Lightning's actually pretty good. Go ahead.
Yeah, like some Renaissance enthusiasts. Like
she was like one of those Renaissance festival babes.
Yeah, she was Jewish, so I mean,
right.
Why she was in a Renaissance dress everywhere she went, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I guess it added something to the show. What you saying?
The neo-Nazi.
The neo-Nazi. Yes, he was like a descendant of Robert E. Lee.
Something like that. Yeah.
And so he just threw all these little different elements into the pot. But one of the main ones that stirs the pot is always going to be Frank's favorite. Frank's favorite, even though he ain't watched this episode.
Puerto Rican
guy.
Puerto Rican Bay.
Puerto Rican guy, yeah.
The Puerto Rican dude who, you know what I'm saying, he's homosexual. So he has a little different spice, a little different element to the show there. So and so what they did is they made a song, but they really hijacked his idea. So he had an idea for a song.
Oh right, because he had sang a song in his. Was it the song he sang in his audition?
It had to be, yeah.
And they took the hook of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so what it was is about not putting him in a box. You know what I'm saying? So he had these identity issues, but he didn't want to be labeled. You know what I'm saying? So he wrote a song about not being put in a box. So basically, without his permission, they had the producer come on, make the song, put a hook to it, using basically his hook. And he kind of felt some sort of way, so Mike had to kind of check to see he was on board. You know what I'm saying? So from there, everybody went. Laid they tracks down and see what they came up with. So it was kind of wild.
Especially once the little neo-Nazi did his verse.
Yeah, that was a coup de grace right there. So but what was really funny is how they let that go last.
Right.
So what was the bar? The bar was like, he's like, some. How do you figure? You're not gonna pull the wool over this white nigger,
right?
But then they let the beat drop, so that should just echo.
It echoed, yeah.
Goes quiet.
Nigger.
Right, it was. It reverberated throughout the studio.
And then they let it. So they was arguing about that, but then they turned around and let them motherfuckers open up for Run the Jewels.
Yeah. Oh, and that's when dude showed up in drag.
Oh, yes, he did.
He completely showed out.
He just does the most, man.
Man, he sure did, man. I was on the floor. I was like, this dude just went all out with this. He sure as hell ain't gonna put him in no box.
That's why from the jump on the Cripicola episode, that nigga was coming over the top with everything.
Everything.
So I think that's pretty much the that episode. Anybody got anything to add to it?
I think the most important thing I got out of this episode, besides it being hilarious, is that they found a way to bring people that were way different from each other and probably would never associate with each other in regular life, and they kind of like found a way to make them work as a team to a certain extent. And and people kind of had to give each other a chance and listen to each other's perspectives on life and lifestyle and culture or whatever in order to make it work, and they he kind of wouldn't let them cut each other off or shut each other out, And I think that was important, because it's because when you interact with those that are kind of like not on your wavelength, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear and probably see things you're not really used to and might not want to, but sometimes in order to achieve a greater goal, which is what they were doing, you have to. That's what had to be done.
Right.
So that's kind of what I got out of it.
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about when he was in nursing home, and basically trying to say, you stand over there with your kind of ideas, and I stand over here with my ideas, and our cultures are separate, and we have an age gap and that type of thing. But when he felt like people were trying to keep us apart, and so and who he blamed for that specifically was the news, because she said she got the idea that black people were doing all the killing because of the news media.
Exactly.
Right.
And so he was saying, well, the news is bad. The news is out here saying things to separate us, to keep us apart. And so what we need to do is we need to come together and talk about the commonalities we have, and we'll find that we're not that far apart. So I think that was definitely the thesis of what he was trying to accomplish in that episode. He just did it in a way that had me rolling. So
yeah. Well, I think I think we can kind of like that's the kind of the genius of this series. Is that he's able to do these really funny and absurd kind of things, but there's an underlying message in there that I think is more palatable because of the way he's presenting it.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't seem preachy or, over the top, really, the message, because of the way he's presenting it. I guess it's the whole edutainment thing, Yep.
Right. And it didn't hurt that it was funny as hell.
Yeah. Oh, man, because when dude showed up in drag, man, I ain't gonna lie, I was on the floor laughing. He's showing out for real.
Party on for real.
He's gonna put the whole thing to the test.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna find out tonight.
Right. Y'all want to be all inclusive? Okay.
This did.
Roger, what you think, man?
No, I enjoyed it. I mean, the whole thing as far as like casting bigger net and showing how to get more fans, blah blah blah, this and that, trying to get all the genres together and just like everyone's saying, hey, if we want to have this thing, my bad. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear.
Okay. I enjoyed the episode. There we go.
Okay.
Is it still echoing in your ear or something, man?
Yeah, it's weird. Like I can hear my voice and I hear the echo also.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like Roger's having some technical difficulties.
Y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hear you, man.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you, man. You definitely got some kind of delay or something going on. That's
I think
for sure.
So. That's why I've been so fucking quiet.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Zed.
Yeah, I think that's episode 5. It's on to the last one.
On to the next one. Okay, last episode.
Outside the box.
Yeah. Okay.
God damn.
The last episode is episode 6, Kill Your Master. Basically in this one, Killer Mike is just it was like I'm trying to think of how he prefaced this or how it started. Anybody remember? I don't really remember how it
It was
started.
basically wasn't the premise of trying to
Well,
build
it was,
his own community.
I think he was trying to create his own nation,
Yeah,
his own African nation.
Yeah, but how did he come to that conclusion?
That's what I mean. How did he come to that idea? That's what I was trying to remember. Anybody remember?
I was trying to rewatch it today. I kind of took a nap in the middle of that. So
Okay.
I know he stays on some revolutionary stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember if that's how this one kicked off, but I know he was talking to like some Muslim brothers and that type of thing, and said, "Hey, if we wanted to start our own nation, what were some of the processes we would have to do?" And so I think they came up with the idea that we would need some land, we would need to have some sort of Declaration of Independence,
Right.
Set up a constitution, and basically, go through the processes that we saw in the American Revolution, but just do it on a smaller scale and create the country of New Africa. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so they went and found a plot of land, had a house on it, had a bunch of acreage. They bought the land. They went and found people that were willing to become citizens of the New Africa. Got them there, and because he put the albino brother in charge.
Yeah.
And he was regulating.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because he had them out there in the field with little tents and all that sort of thing, and it was not the best conditions. They had them working and digging trenches, and of course, you know who the problem was. Little Puerto Rican dude again.
Puerto Rican dude came back.
He not want your
The only one that wouldn't take the oath.
Nope.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right.
And he's like, I ain't taking no oaths. And then what was it? They were like, they will had him like you had him walking in a straight line, and he wouldn't walk in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he was trying to like walk on his own, track or
He
whatever.
put me in a box.
Yeah.
And then they start following him. He's like, "Don't follow me. Go your own way."
He do
Disruptive.
whatever do. Whenever somebody says go right, this dude was like, I'm gonna go left.
Yeah, right.
If somebody said it was blue, he said it's red, man. If it was up, he just said it was down. He was just doing whatever. He was marching to his own drum, man. And the rest of the crew wasn't having that. So
Right. Then some dissension kind of came into the ranks, where I think it was because they kind of felt like Mike was more like a dictator than a president type thing.
Here's where it came out because Mike started feeling that he was off on his own shit. But old boy decided, hey, I'm going to do something for the nation. I'm going to write the new Africa national anthem.
That shit was trash, dog.
And that shit was so horrible.
It was
It was.
To the point where Mike was like, I didn't know I'd ever hate the word Africa. But your ass got me hating the word Africa. So he came down real hard on him again. And
that's when he just walked out, right?
Yeah, that's when he walked out. And everybody was. So that's when he was like being a dictator, and then he walked out, and everybody kind of was questioning, Mike's leadership. So
right, because they started fighting amongst each other. They was ready to scrap.
Mm-hmm. They was going to abandon the new nation.
Exactly. It fell into chaos.
Yeah. So go ahead. What happened after that?
So after that, that's when he decides he's going to have elections.
Mm-hmm.
That he was going to allow them to pick their own leader, and operate like an actual democracy would operate, and not a lot less like a dictatorship.
Right.
So there were several nominated. I know he was nominated. One of the women, females was nominated. I think she was kind of like the front runner in a way. And somebody else, I can't remember who else. There were several others. So they did like debates and speeches and all that sort of thing. They did it official, you know, like a real campaigns.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then they had like a secret ballots, just like you would in a real election.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it ended up being the female nominee was the candidate, was the one that ended up winning.
There was a twist to that.
There was a twist to it. Because I think, was it Mike talking to his wife?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she was asking how he felt about not winning.
Well, he won by a landslide, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, she thought he had actually lost, his wife.
Right.
And I think she was like, "Oh, you feel okay about not winning?" He was like, "I won by a landslide." He said, "But I fixed the ballot box, you know, because I don't need to be. They need to run themselves. I don't need to run the country," which was a unique twist.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that nigga's busy being a millionaire.
Yeah. Right.
He ain't got time running no fictional ass country, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So leave that to them to do, man. So. I don't know. To me, I thought it was interesting on a personal note, and so this came up. We had parent-teacher conferences the other day, and I was talking to one of my students, and his mother brought up the show, and my eyes automatically lit up. I started telling her about the podcast. But
don't do
it. I better calm down. I'm here in a professional setting, you know what I'm saying? But basically, we had a project where we were discussing nationalism and how it leads to World War I, and we had been discussing how Italy became a nation, and Germany became a nation, and India became a nation, and we basically had the kids to create their own nation, and it was very similar to the project that they had done on the show. And so basically, I gave out that assignment, and then I'm saying, like, it was probably that weekend I turned on the show and saw episode 6 where Mike was doing the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? So when we started talking about that and saying, hey, this is the project. He got this score on it. He did pretty well. His mama said, you know what? You should have been watching Trigger Warning. Because it was something just like this on Trigger Warning. So
you should listen to the goddamn Nigga Rockin' podcast.
Damn real, I should have been.
What I say? Don't do that. Don't please, ma'am, don't do that.
Right. No doubt. So I mean, I don't know. What's the moral of the story on that episode?
I think it's that nation building ain't easy.
No, not at all. Democracy's not easy.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I think this shows that, man, and it's like it's like the way he laid it out. It seemed really simple and like, oh yeah, that's all you need to do. Shit, you can build your own country. It sounds easy, but the actual application of it and maintaining it, it's very difficult.
Yeah,
it takes some deep-seated beliefs and some conviction.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because it seems like a culmination of the whole series. That's why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So I mean, where they had talked about the differences and commonalities between everybody, and how sometimes, even though we have some commonalities, we're sometimes driven by division.
Yeah.
And trying to build that nation, there was almost a wedge driven between them from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they want to shout out the voice that was not, in line with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, man. It's a very thought-provoking series. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
And it's very entertaining.
I think it's revealing.
Yeah.
Of where our society is, where it's been, where it could possibly go. It kind of pulls back the curtain on some of the things that we probably don't think about every day.
All right.
I think that's the main thing it did for me. Like, these are a lot of aspects of society that he kind of pulls the cover back on, the things that you just, I mean, you know, when you're going through your regular everyday of, you know, we got work and you got kids and you got, you know, spouses and you got family and everything else that goes on, you kind of get, it's easy to get caught up in life and not think about some of these aspects of life that actually affect your everyday. And just watching this was a good way to kind of pull back the curtain on some of that stuff and kind of like, hey, this is what's going on and this is what relies underneath, and presenting it in a way that's thought provoking, makes you think, but also keeps your attention by being entertaining at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my overall take of the show.
I agree.
Roger don't want to say nothing today, man.
He's scared to talk, man, because he don't know when he should talk.
Yeah, it's that too.
He don't know when he should jump in, man. Roger's playing double dutch with this right now. He's like, I don't know where to get in. He keeps coming at me.
No, I mean, but I mean, both of you guys did well, everybody did a good job as far as wrapping that shit up. So it's like, why add more? And also, at the same point in time, I don't know if I'm like coming in and stepping on somebody. So yeah, all that. In the new Jesus episode, I mean, out of the three, everybody here, I'm the only atheist on there. So it's like I had nothing to add to that, really. So yeah.
Well, that's where I thought you were gonna be interesting.
I mean, but how? I don't want to backtrack on that, but it's not really interesting to me because I think it's like I think it's all fiction on a lie, and everything's built upon a lie. And all he did was show that how easy it is to make people who are at their lowest and need something to believe in anything.
Yeah, I think there. I mean, actually, that episode, I think there was some good discussions that took place in that.
Okay.
And it wasn't as blasphemous as I thought it was gonna be.
Right.
But I never got the idea that the dudes truly believe in Sleepy.
No.
You know what was interesting in that episode too, though, for me, is when he had them sit down in front of Sleep and just kind of talk. A lot of people was getting like deep into their, you know,
they opened up.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. Like a thing.
And I think they felt like, you know, it was somebody that wasn't going to judge them, and, you know, and I think they just felt comfortable kind of opening up and expressing themselves or whatever was going on in their lives. And I thought that was an important aspect of that show, you know.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you believe.
That's why I'm a big proponent of therapy.
I think people feeling comfortable and feeling like they have somewhere, a safe place or someplace that's comforting to express themselves. I think that was an important part of that. And I think that's what religion has done for people, you know.
Right,
there's pros and cons.
But religion is judging. It's not that. That's therapy. Those people need a fucking therapy to sit in front of someone who just is paid to not be judging. To me, that's all I got from it. You need therapy, not religion.
Not every church is full of people that get paid.
I get what you're saying.
There's pastors that are churches that are not getting paid. Or not getting paid that much.
I hear what you're saying. James. I'm a fucking atheist. All of it has to go for me. I don't believe in any of it. That's why I was quiet. She's like, some churches are not as judging. Some churches are more. They believe in a deity or a place or some fucking plane of existence where you're gonna fucking burn or die because you decided to not do something. That's me. So that's why I was like, okay, these are my guys. They believe in that. That's fine. That's why I'm just gonna sit here and be like, well, I don't know if somebody can hear me, so I'll just be quiet.
No,
anyway. No. I'm saying at that point in time.
Oh. Okay.
And don't get me like it's like, and me and Joe talked about it, and you guys all know because I love y'all, and that's what it is. I'm not disrespectful to any religion, but to me, it's just like one of those things. Like I don't shit on it because I know people do believe and get something out of it. And at the end of the day, that's where it's like I want people to get something out of it, but let's not shit on people that your Bible or your book says you should shit on. So that's that gray area where I'm kind of like, I get it, but I also hate it.
I got you. Yeah, but like I said, I just thought that was an interesting part of the whole thing. Where like this is like in a lot of ways this is like kind of a joke, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but I think also like what I was saying as far as the culmination of the whole like this first season, hope he gets another season, where it's just like if you like, because we're always talking about, especially from the aspect of like black people and color, talking about we should just build our own country, build our own nation, and he kind of broke down like you have to separate yourself from like a certain aspect of society. You got to make sure you can't make one thing more important than the other because you got to have people that build, you have people who are in charge, people who lead, and all these other things that he like. When you need a spiritual guide for some people, so you got to have something for them to believe in that's they're going to. And then, like, you have to have a national anthem that brings. At the end of the day, you want people to believe in your country that you have created. And at the end of it all, it's like, let's make it happen. And I think he did a good job of showing just how hard it is to separate yourself from anyone and say, I don't need anything from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, that's trigger warning with Killer Mike. Are we any final thoughts on this?
Y'all, hey, watch that shit. It? Watch that shit. It's good.
Definitely should watch it.
Yeah, come out with a second season too.
Please.
Right.
The money that Monique turned down, please give it to Killer Mike for a second season.
Right.
I'm on Monique. Yeah, I don't think anybody's clamoring for a Monique stand-up show, so I think that's probably part of it.
Yeah.
But I guess you're not allowed to say that. Get called a tongue.
Shh. You better be quiet, nigga. They gonna catch it.
Right. All right, so where we at? Is that it?
I don't know. And we said we'll talk about get to the whole season of Killer Mike. Then after that, I don't know if we're going back to talking about what we were talking about beforehand, or is it like, hey, let's go to bed?
Oh, is there any newsworthy items that we want to bring up real quick, or are we
real quick? I mean, Trump, and like we talked about it in the chat group. And I just want to bring it up because Frank, like, he's going, I wasn't there. You guys should have talked about it. He won't say that though, but. I mean, that's gonna be interesting over the next couple of weeks, man, to see how that fleshes out.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fact that, man, when I heard him, he basically said in his speech about this national emergency, he didn't basically say, he said, I don't really need to do it, but I want to move this wall along faster. I mean, that's the press conference over right there.
Yeah, basically.
He just told me that it's not really a national emergency. Because you say you don't really need to do it.
Right. And
if it's a national emergency, it's urgent. It must be done now. The safety or security of the country is on the line right here, right now. It must be done. That's the way you present that. Not, I don't really have to do it, but I just want to move this thing along. My little project.
I hate that motherfucker. Yeah. I really hate that motherfucker, dog. Like, this, we had drill just like 2 weeks ago. We had drill 2 weeks ago, and we sitting in the office, and people like, "So you gonna be at 20? You getting out the reserves?" I'm like, man, I cannot stand to work for this motherfucker a day more. It's like, as soon as July come, I'm out.
Yeah,
right. I feel you. I'm surprised you were able to do the whole 20.
Right.
I mean, but like, it's like the
8 good years in there.
Huh?
I said you had 8 good years in there.
I mean, it was. But at the same point in time, I've been deployed twice in the Democrats.
Right.
So not bad. That was right after. So anyway, but yeah. So it was a Democrat and a Republican. But it's I think something like even with George Bush, I didn't agree with. I'm not a Republican. There we go. But I didn't agree with a lot of shit he said. But at least this motherfucker thought what he was saying was right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I can, as a troop, as a leader, as also a sergeant in the United States Army, I can get behind a leader who actually believes the bullshit he's saying is true. Trump, he's like, I'm a nigga, fuck y'all. That's what he's basically saying. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get what I want.
Right.
And then I gotta go stand in front of some fucking private and tell him, hey, yeah, we're going on a good mission. You know.
And to be honest, I bet he really gives a shit about that wall.
He don't.
No.
He just knows that he wants to be a winner, and that was his campaign promise.
Yep.
And he wants to deliver on his campaign promise.
Yeah, and everything else is failed. Everything else has pretty much either been half done or failed. Like he didn't repeal and replace Obamacare.
Nope.
He didn't. The tax cut. Everybody realizes now the tax cuts were bullshit.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
And Hillary's still free.
He ain't done. He also he was touting all the infrastructure. He ain't done a goddamn thing for infrastructure, which is a serious priority.
Right.
You know what is that? Oh, anyway.
Rubbing their feet.
I don't know what that was. Anyway, but like he really doesn't have any real like wins in terms of his campaign. I mean, they're winning. He got the Supreme Court thing and all that, but that was a given. He was gonna get that anyway. That was like low hanging fruit.
Yep.
That was just circumstantial that he was gonna get that. You know,
exactly.
And all the judgeships and all sort of thing, and people don't feel that in their everyday life, so it ain't the same thing. But yeah, so I mean, he needs like a signature win.
Yeah.
And this is like his last one. He thinks he might actually be able to get. So he'll do whatever it takes to get it.
Yeah.
And he got that little snake, Stephen Miller, up there feeding him all this stuff.
Right.
And then he's like, man, let me tell you something else to this dude, man. This fool won't listen to. He don't listen to his experienced advisors, the generals, the intelligence and all that. But this fool talks to Sean Hannity every night, listen to Fox and Friends, and Coulter. These people are the ones that are driving his decisions. These fools. But he won't listen to the people that know, and can actually guide you. That you might actually get some real wins if you listen to the people that have been there and done that.
Right.
He feel outclassed by them, man. He's not an intellectual equal to those dudes. He has spent a lot of time in media. Mm-hmm. So he feels comfortable talking about people who know that game. Those are colleagues of his.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where he feels comfortable. So he's going to take advice from them because, he doesn't understand half the shit they talking about when they talking about national security. No, or they talking about, global economics. Man,
they don't even, I think they pretty much cut out all those meetings.
Damn.
Like, I know he doesn't do the intelligence briefings anymore. They just completely stopped doing them.
That's crazy.
Because they kept cutting them. Like, it was, first it was like an hour, then it was 45 minutes, then it was 15 minutes, and now they just don't bother. If they give them something to read, it has to be like a page or less.
Right.
And I think it has to have pictures on it too. And I'm not playing around about that.
Oh, that fucking pop-up book, nigga.
Right. I'm not joking about that. It needs to have like some kind of chart with or SpongeBob or something on it. Or he ain't touching it.
Or his face.
Right. Or his.
Shit.
Sponge Donald.
Sponge Donald,
nigga.
Squareface.
Right.
Sponge Don Squareface.
So yeah, so I mean, dude, if you put this dude in office, you should forever be ashamed. If you voted for this dude, you should never live it down. You should feel shame for the rest of your days. Because you scraped the bottom of the barrel with this dude.
Yeah. If this was your candidate,
this was your boy, and you thought this was a good idea.
Yeah.
The evidence was all there in front of you that it was a terrible idea to put him in office.
Shit. Stevie Wonder saw it. Shit. Shit. Oh.
But yeah, outside of that, man, nothing else going on right now, man. Just waiting for the world to burn down, pretty much.
Yeah. It's gonna start in America.
What about Cap? What about Kaepernick? We want to put any words on that?
We already did.
Yeah,
did we already talk about Cap?
We talked about it. Close it up, man. He did what he had to do. I think.
My fault. That seems so long ago.
He did what he had to do.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's the best way to get them to admit guilt without having to drag out for the next fucking 40 years?
I mean, it'd been nice if they had to like drag the details out in court. That'd have been nice.
Yeah. You know, Robert.
That's what I really wanted.
I want that too.
To get them expose them for what we know that they did.
Yeah, but we all been in like different chat groups and around motherfuckers that we know or we think we know, and you see them like even you see niggas too like saying, "Oh man, he wouldn't got no job. He ain't no good quarterback." I'm like, nigga, Nathan Peterman.
Right.
That's all I say to people. Nathan Peterman, dog, and I just fucking walk away. Nathan Peterman got a job, dog.
I wonder if this agreement allows him to try out for teams next year.
I was wondering about that. Is it like here's $60 million, goodbye?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering about. Because if they hire him next year, if somebody hires him next year, then it's like not only does this nigga get $60 million, you kind of
you're going to pay him. Yeah, you're going to pay him starting quarterback money, or at least close to it.
Yeah, but you also let us know the other side of it that there was a conspiracy to keep him out of the league.
Yeah. I honestly don't see him going back to the NFL.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think he's
and he already turned down the
AFL,
the new league,
AFL, and that XFL shit.
Yeah, the AAFL or whatever it is.
I don't know, nigga. I feel like I'm stuttering.
Something like that. Anyway, well, they said he wanted $20 million off top, and they were like, "No, we ain't got money like that, dog."
Yeah, and it's like, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm that." Well, I think he was like, "I'm gonna be so ridiculous that they can't match it."
That's basically what he did.
Because also, yeah. By the way, I'm about to get $60 million from NFL tomorrow, so y'all have a good one.
Yeah, he good.
Right.
I don't think if he really wanted to go back and play, he would even done this lawsuit. Honestly,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, because like, I really didn't. I mean, I'm gonna sue you, but I want you to hire me. Yeah. I don't usually work.
Well, he wasn't getting hired.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm saying at that point,
the method that he chose to try to take was not something that was going to get him hired.
I'm saying I don't think that was an initial situation. I think he through I felt like he went through a year, didn't get a job, and then the second offseason came and he still didn't get a job. Then the suit came.
I'm not saying he never wanted to go back and play. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying at a certain point, I think he said, "I'm not going to play anymore."
Right.
I'm gonna, and he's not, and I'm not, and I'm not willing to do what they want me to do in order to play anymore. Because he could have played again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If he would have pledged, I won't kneel anymore, and backed off his stance, he would have been playing. We know that. But he wasn't willing to do that, and that's cool. Stand on what you want to stand on.
I mean, in general, I think it was a win. He's going to have his help.
For Colin, it's a definite win.
I think so too.
Bro, this dude is just got paid. Not only to get paid, this dude's like a forever. He's forever like
he's canonized himself among the
they get
the
this
great athlete
compared
activists of all time. Yeah,
it's a great activists of all time.
Jackie Robinson and
Jackie and Malcolm and Martin and all that. They putting his face on murals with Malcolm and Martin and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah. Even if it's not warranted, it's still happening.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, he was in that house field that slave video we watched. I listened to at the beginning of the podcast.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, what was that?
God damn it! Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you breaking up.
Yeah.
All right.
But you faded out.
I'm gonna shut
Fade it out.
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid to talk. No, I'm saying I might be mistaken, but I was saying I thought he made like a little his little image popped up in that video we were watching in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't watch it that time, but yeah.
I think it did. I think that's correct.
Yeah, that's the one thing we didn't talk about that video was some of
the video that went along with the speech that someone made. Yeah.
It was some outlandish cartoons going on in there.
No, I'm trying to figure out why there's a caricature of Obama in there.
There was. That's what I said in the cat group. It's like, why they have Obama tap dance through that when he was talking about House Negroes?
Like I said, Spike Lee did it.
All right.
Spike Lee did it to MLK, man.
Yeah. But I think that was more in context because that is what Malcolm was saying about Martin Luther King directly, about him and the Southern preachers that were. He was calling them Uncle Toms and handkerchief heads. That was like direct.
Yeah.
That was not necessarily Spike Lee's doing. That was what Malcolm was actually saying.
Well, you probably had a Nation of Islam dude, or maybe even a Hebrew Israelite making the video, man. Somebody who's gonna be.
I get it. I know why they did it, but I'm just saying that you saying Spike did it. I think Spike was doing it in context.
It was contextual. But why they did it in this one is, I think, people obviously have their agendas.
That's agenda. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I get it, but just the fact that there's so many, like a lot of, not so many, but black folks out there who dislike or disagree with Obama, like he was just supposed to like change the fucking American flag.
He was king. Apparently, he was King Obama.
I know, I'm like,
with no checks and balances, he could just wave his hand and it should be done.
But we said it on the show though. He is such a, I mean, like, people don't see it, but like, he's such a moderate. He's such like the most likable Negro that a white person would probably ever meet in this existence. It's like, oh, I hate him because he's brown and he wore a tan suit.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I mean,
hold on. What were we saying, Joe?
I was say he could have did like Trump and just declared a national emergency and gave niggas reparations.
Right.
Basically.
He could have just had the imperial presidency, man.
That's a state of emergency.
Yeah, state of emergency. Give niggas their money.
Yeah, and they would have set the White House on fire with him and Michelle and the kids in it.
Fuck the White House. There'd be no more Earth, nigga.
Shit, I don't know what to say. Move some money from the Department of Justice, nigga, from the Department of Defense. Move that money over.
All right, don't you try to move these
y'all
bullets
good
away from
for
your
it.
head.
I know y'all good for it.
Said we just bait and switch on the taxes. We could have got that. We're gonna give you a tax cut, but we're gonna take away some of your deductions.
But all we got was he's a Muslim and he don't take all our guns.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right. Well, they basically, white folks basically, the certain ones, they acted like that Louis Farrakhan was running for president.
Oh, God.
The way they was talking about Obama. I'm like, is it Louis Farrakhan or is it Barack Obama?
There were people in my fucking nursing class that I graduated from that had a fucking like I can't talk to you no more because they were like, Barack Obama, he's the Antichrist, he's gonna be along this and that, and
he was the Antichrist, he was Hitler, he was everything, every infamous character you could think of in history, he was all that.
Well, that's what they doing to Ocasio-Cortez now.
Oh yeah, they can't.
Because they
can't handle AOC.
Anybody that's charismatic and of color and thinks the other way, they gonna be like, this is the new Stalin.
Yeah, well,
but
so they take everything to the extreme.
Yeah, but see, she ain't worried about her image. She doing what she want to do. They really can't stand that because she biting right back at them.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm saying what they do is they gonna take whatever
demonize
and take it way out of context. So in the Green New Deal she's proposing, it's mentioned that cow flatulence releases methane, and that's problematic for the greenhouse. So Fox News was basically,
No hamburger.
AOC is taking away your steaks.
That's what they did too. She was like, she wants y'all to be vegetarians. She gonna force you to be a vegetarian. Dang,
let's just take this to the ultimate extreme. What's the furthest we can extrapolate this away from the truth? That's what they did to Obama. That's just the playbook, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they did that to Oprah when she said she wouldn't eat hamburgers or something no more.
Oh shit! That fucking that show.
Oh, they was like the whole damn cattle ranching industry went after her. They was like, Oprah said, "Don't eat hamburger, don't eat beef no more. She's ruined our business. We shutting down all over the country." I'm like, shut up.
It's a good thing Bushido Brown was there.
He's one bad motherfucker.
They said one cattle rancher put his hand on the door.
Right.
Bushido Brown kept that hand. Anyway, man. Where we at? Anything else?
No.
I don't think so.
That's it.
That's good.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, Roger, get your connection together, nigga.
Can y'all hear me? I'm like right up on the microphone, nigga.
You can go ahead and rap us.
Say what's up? What you say?
You can rap us.
Rap.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. I'm just playing. Yeah, man. I guess I had some because I'm streaming the podcast from my phone so I can record it. So I'm sure there's a delay on my end. So everybody out there, if I was coming in and out, I apologize. to the brothers tonight. But thank y'all for carrying on, even though my black ass couldn't chime in the way I wanted to. So wrapping up, everybody good? Got their words in? Mm-hmm.
Hey,
what?
Right.
Nigga, I know you're doing it on purpose.
Right.
That was cold-blooded. Unity.
Man, y'all. Oh my God, I hate y'all. All right, man. But yeah, appreciate everybody listening to the podcast, getting to this point. Appreciate it. Hope you liked the video. Once again, we'll have the video in the show notes because I think it's real important if you go out there and look at the images as we talked about at the end of the podcast. Some real good images to go along with the speech from the brother Malcolm X. Frank, once again, hope everything is good. He wasn't here tonight, so every last minute chime in. But here we are once again. Nigga Rockin' Podcast. Thank you everybody for coming in. 10 meters. The Twin Brothers of Doom. Joe Jeff. James. I'm the DAKCSTORK. I-70 Connect. Thank you everybody again. Enjoy the
music.